Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. Today is Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. What time is it? 5:31 p.m. And I titled this one, I ain't going to be long. I say this all the time, though, but I titled this one, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and Double Standards, right? So we are fresh off of the, what was it, Elite Eight last night in women's college. And after the game, number one, when you lose and win, your emotions are going to be high and low, right? So last night, Angel Reese and those girls was arguably, and understandably kind of upset after losing. It's a competitive sport. And after that, she began to talk about just her experience, since winning the championship. And it's crazy. She said she hasn't basically, and I'm paraphrasing, have enjoyed herself since winning the championship. And she was going on to say how she get death threats, how she get, sexualized, and all of these things, right? You know, and I'm seeing white Twitter, and I'm seeing Negroes go in and say, and listen. You ever want to see you ever want to really see white America's thoughts? Go on Twitter. Because this is how I look at things. We look at the mask, right? We look at the mask, the hoods, the hoods. Uh, we look at the hoods that white Americans wear, right? And under these hoods, you can't see their true identities, right? This is like the Klan, right? Hooded Americanism. And you see their real thoughts toward black people, older black people, younger black people, black athletes, black women athletes. It seems like we forget like the commonality on certain things, on a lot of things, but when it comes to white America and how white America thinks and really treats us, right? Um, and in that, they're saying, how dare she screams to be sexualized. I mean, I saw one handkerchief head Negro on his YouTube channel, and I don't even know his name, and he ain't even important enough to speak on. But you could just tell. You could tell by people a lot of times by people's background. Um, you could tell what type of Negro he was, and he was like he made it about the wins and losses. Hey, you were taunting because in her saying she hasn't enjoyed herself since winning that championship. You know why? Because she beat America. Not only did they beat these girls, right? They beat America's darlings. They beat Caitlin Clark. She's the white female Stephen Curry, right? So I'm talking to a friend because see, here's the thing. I always say this: we don't listen to each other. Males tell females all day, hey, we don't like women with BBS. Yes, y'all do. Y'all do like this. Females say, hey, you ain't always gotta have money. There are females that say, hey, I ain't like that. Yes, y'all, this what y'all like. So we're always telling each other what each side like, right? So her experience and Caitlin Clark's experience are two different experiences. She beat America's darlings. They say, who are these dirty people to beat America's darlings? And in my opinion, whose opinion? My opinion, they were talking about, to me, what contextualizes it properly is Kim Mulkey, who I'm not the biggest Kim Mulkey fan. She's won. She's won on many levels. She won a championship with Brittany Griner. She won last year, so I'm not the biggest Kim Mulkey fan. But Kim Mulkey stood up and said, "Hey, you can say what you want to say about me. You can say I'm the worst coach in the world. Fine. We open ourselves to this. But when you sexualize and when you name call young girls, because we still got to realize, yes, this is about competition, but on both sides, Caitlin Clark, all of them, they're young girls, right? So fair game. I done said some things about Caitlin Clark. Fair game. Um, but in it, it's the lack of saying, "Hey, how dare she says she feels sexualized." And America really never forgave her for taunting Caitlin Clark. This is what this really is about, right? So a lot of black people, y'all are looking at it from a sports competition. That's one tier to it. But again, you have to look at the racial implications, right? That was like Don Imus when he called the Rutgers basketball girl team nappy head hoes. You know, he got fired from his job, but if I'm not mistaken, Don Imus, he's dead now, thank goodness. But he got another job, right? So when we're talking about what's under these hoods, keep in mind what I'm talking about, the hood of Americanism, right? We're not talking about how they really openly think. You know, I see a lot of stuff on Twitter, and I see middle-aged white men, I see young white boys, I see middle-aged white males, and they're all saying, and I remember commenting on this one. He was like, "It's not the color of your skin, it's the content of your character, Angel Reese, and you have none." And in this, because they're making it about what? This. There's the video. So this is their reason, because we know white people need to create a reason in their head why they're displaying their racism. Which is why Emmett Till, they said he whistled at her. You know, so there's always their rationalizations of why they do these things, right? So this is really for them just to get their stuff off, because they never really forgave her for taunting America's sweetheart. And this is why I'm irritated with Ice Cube, right? Because because people that's gonna come in and say, "Hey, it's not Ice Cube's job to save the black race." I mean, and again, yes and no. Because Ice Cube was used as an agent, knowingly or unknowingly, to himself when they transformed the energy from NWA, right? You know, so he transformed the nigga energy, the nigga with attitude. And then he went Hollywood. He said, "Hey, we went from niggas with attitudes to are we there yet?" He became wholesome to America, right? So, and I think a lot of y'all, let me say this, I think a lot of y'all can't distinguish between Craig, who we all like. Craig, and Ice Cube, or O'Shea. These are three different persons. These are three different. One is a total fit. Well, both of them is kind of, two of them are made up, Ice Cube and Craig. Right? So I think a lot of us can't distinguish from Craig, who we like in all the Fridays. I know I like Fridays, versus the corporate him, right? And in this shift in the mind, because what did I say Albert Bandura created? I'm gonna keep saying this because repetition is the mother of learning. Albert Bandura created the model. So who was the more perfect model to shift us from our revolutionary energy, from the public enemy revolutionary energy? And it's got its cracks in there too, right? Till we get to that type of energy. And never forget how Khalid Muhammad said he folded on him when he needed him. So my issue with Ice Cube is not not really where he put his money, because we say he don't owe us nothing, but do they or do they not? How do we let these artists shift us and do these things, and then we say they don't owe us nothing? T.I. creating trap music, Gucci Mane creating trap music, Young Jeezy creating trap music, shift the whole energy, right? So let's go back to Ice Cube. I don't want to drive too far down the street. So Ice Cube goes from this right here, F the police, to, I'm sure you probably play the police, right? So he puts his money behind Caitlin Clark, America's sweetheart. Because in my opinion, whose opinion? My opinion. In my opinion, there's no way that she's going to be able to play in both leagues. They're going to have to pull off some amazing things if Caitlin Clark was to take that $5 million and play in the Big Three and still play with whatever team she gets drafted, because she's going to the WNBA. But from his perspective, this is like an NIL deal, and what it does, it raises her status. right? It raises her status and it raises her this phenom. Now she can ball. Let's look at basketball. Let's take black and white out of it. She can play basketball. But the comparison, let's get back to what I'm talking about. She doesn't face what Angel Reese faces. Right? Now, sexism is in both sides of the race because the white man is the original sexist. The feminist was created out of the rebellious white woman whose man was treating them like trash, right? So, but Caitlin Clark faces nothing like what those LSU girls face. So go back to put it into context because y'all say, well, she's crying about being sexualized. You know, she's wearing bikinis. And ladies, this is what I want y'all to understand. The ladies that's gonna hear this. And I think we should have conversations about this. Where is the line of pushing your sexuality, which is your free right to do? You shouldn't have to hide. And what is against, like, you know, kind of like now you've pushed the envelope, but that still doesn't give nobody the right to say things or invite themselves. I can imagine what this young girl hears in her messages in her inbox. So it's just like I compare it to a dude that's flashing his money. Now you're inviting this energy, but if a dude is flashing his money, does that give him the right to be robbed and set up and have that money taken? So how far can we go with saying, "Hey, she objectifies herself"? We have to really think about these things. There's truth in all of this, right? But again, Caitlin Clark doesn't face half of what she faces. Because do you remember everybody made it about Angel Reese doing this? So that took the shine off of those LSU girls beating those Iowa Hawkeyes last year. Never in history did they invite the loser to the White House. They felt so bad for those American white girls that Jill Biden said, "Hey, let's just invite both of them." No, you're the loser for a reason. It's still a competition. So they couldn't wait for Caitlin Clark to beat her so they could say, you know, you're classless, because in their mind, they're lynching her because of this. So she shouldn't have to hide her sexuality. Now, young ladies, don't put y'all sexuality out there. Don't overly put it out there. He shouldn't have to hide his wealth, but don't. This is a poor environment. So a lot of times, rappers are gunned down for robbery out of poverty. People with money, not even just rappers, right? So where again, the double standard? The double standard. When those girls lost, they had an entire country to back them. It's okay, Caitlin. You'll get them next year. God damn it, those Louisianians. There was a LA Times article. They called those girls dirty debutantes. They called them villains. I told you, always pay attention to these headlines, to these labels, because that is how they identify you. That is white America's penmanship. This is LA Times. This isn't the Inquirer. So that shows you the racism behind that. Yes, they write criticizing articles. They're going to write criticizing articles about Caitlin Clark's game when she has a bad game. But she's not going to be called trailer trash or anything in their articles, because she is a representation of them. And what makes me sick with you Negroes is y'all are siding with her and saying, well, you know, Ice Cube paid the leading scorer. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. Angel Reese, until last night, they was the national champions. Flau'jae Johnson, who can ball and can flat out play basketball, is an incredible lyricist. Where is Ice Cube right now that those girls are being called dirty debutantes, Louisiana hot sauce? This is the stuff the LA Times wrote. Villains. They call UCLA girls America's sweetheart, milk and cookies. So we're looking at the double standard and we're looking at the racism. Yes, our women put themselves out there sexually. But wait, there's more. When Sports Illustrated puts out a swimsuit issue, are they in turtlenecks? So just because a woman is in a bikini, does that mean she deserves the right to be sexually disrespected? Hmm? I want y'all to think about what y'all saying, especially my people. My people, I want y'all to think about what y'all are saying. Because when y'all are siding, remember I said those Iowa girls had an entire country to put their arm around them. What do our girls get? They get criticized from both sides. They get racism from white America under them hoods. And they get her saying, "Oh, she's just being a crybaby because she lost." Of course you're emotional. Juju Watkins was emotional last night. Juju Watkins is a star. I love the game of basketball. Juju Watkins is a star. So how come Ice Cube is not offering them? Because like they said, it's a business deal. It is exactly that. It is a business deal. And the business is to elevate Caitlin Clark's status to this great white height. And Angel Reese is always going to play second fiddle in an enemy because they never forgave her for doing this. She put the noose around her neck. So forever until I've seen them say, and then I saw a lot of our people last year saying she's a poor sportsman. Y'all must forgot Johnny Manziel. And he faced criticism in the media. Y'all must forget the football player John Lynch. I think he played for the Raiders. So it's not equal. It's not equal playing field, y'all. It's not equal playing field. They call those girls dirty. Yeah. You see, and that's what I want. That's what I'm saying in my video. I'm saying because I'm not gonna be long, but what I'm saying is this has something to do with basketball. But most of this is got to do that she taunted America's sweetheart. These are young girls. And that's all I want to say because we just have to have better conversations. We have to raise our frequencies because it's in moderation of how you do everything, right? It's in moderation. You can be sexy without being trashy. You can flash your money without being arrogant. It's in moderation. But I just know what it's about. I just know what it's about. And remember what I'm saying. If you want, I'm going to re-say it. If you want to understand how America really thinks about you, just log on to Twitter. And it's what you're looking for, but all your answers are right there. Hooded Americanism. But what it comes down to, they want to see our spirit broken. Right? How did the media treat Kyrie Irving? Because it couldn't have been about the vaccine. Because like I said, Aaron Rodgers straight up lied. They still refused. It's about black arrogance. It's about black flashiness. And I get it. But brothers that's on these, and I know it's pointless talking to y'all. Keyshawn Johnson, it's pointless talking to Shannon Sharp. Y'all have to do better with holding the end with this. And Keyshawn Johnson, I can't even say that because looking at Keyshawn Johnson responded, he made a good comparison to what I'm talking about. Like how he was treated against a white receiver. The racial implications. Let's not forget where we at, y'all. Let's not forget where we at. Just because you see it doesn't mean it's not there. Make sense? Peace. Okay, all right.